Hello friends, here I am with next part of this story. I hope you all like the video and subscribe to my channel. So let's start the video with summary. The three virgin goddesses created a child together with a man all three fell in love with. They all three loved the child unconditionally. This child will play a pivotal role in things to come that none would expect. He will help the child of prophecy in his role. Chapter 7. They had just arrived in Las Vegas and were driving around looking for the Lotus Hotel and Casino. Do either of you see it? Naruto asked while looking off down one of the side streets they were driving past. I haven't yet. What about you, Salina? Claris answered before asking Salina while also looking down a side street they were passing. Nope, nothing on my end either, Salina said while looking at all the main casinos ahead of them on the main road. Suddenly Naruto slammed on the brakes and put the truck into reverse, backing up to a side street they had just passed. There it is, he said triumphantly, causing the girls to look at him then to where he was looking. When they did, they saw a huge casino with huge neon flower with petals that lit up and started blinking. There were no people entering or exiting the place, but the doors were open and there was a scent coming from inside that smelled like lotus blossoms. That has to be it. The smell alone gives it away, Salina said while smiling, glad that they had found the place. Yeah, this is it. Looks just how Dad described it when he told us Aries kids about it, Claris said with a rare smile of fondness on her face. Well, let's go, we need to find the pearl quickly, Naruto said while opening the door of the truck, about to get up but was stopped by Salina putting a hand on his shoulder. Just remember guys, the lotus eaters will try to use stuff to entice us into staying. We can't accept any of it or we will forget everything, Salina said with a worried look on her face. Alright Salina, we will be careful. Bedtime runs differently in there and we don't want to waste too much time and miss the deadline, Claris said. Right, so we will have to hurry and find the pearl, Naruto said, getting nods from the girls. Once they had everything ready and had Kurama resting in the seat of the truck, they exited the truck and approached the doors of the casino. When they reached the doors of the casino, the doorman stopped them. Welcome to the Lotus Hotel and Casino, kids, hope you have a good time while you're here, the doorman said with a smile while handing them some casino cards. You will need these cards to get in and use the games, and don't worry, everything's already been paid for, the doorman added. They just smiled and nodded before walking inside. Once inside, they stopped amazed at what they had found inside. There were all kinds of different games from different time periods all over the place. Before they could begin to decide how they were going to look for the pearl in the place, a bellhop approached them. Hello kids, here are your room keys. You're on the top floor, room 505, the bellhop said, handing them key cards before walking off to another area of the hotel. Hey girls, how about we use these rooms to get cleaned up, then we can plan how we're going to find the pearl afterwards in the room, Naruto said. Sure, sounds like a good idea, Claris said. Great, I have been dying for a bath, Salina said, causing the other two to laugh. Once they had regained control of their laughter and Salina had stopped pouting at them, they headed to the elevator and up to their room. When they had reached the room, they were amazed at what they found. There were 3 beds and a fully stocked mini fridge with a hotline to room service for anything they wanted. Alright girls, why don't you two go ahead and take your baths? I'll wait here until you're done, then I'll take mine, Naruto said, getting nods from the girls who grabbed their stuff and headed into the 2 bathrooms. Once he was alone, Naruto headed over to the window to take in the view and think about what they could do to find the pearl quickly. I need to find a way to locate the pearl quickly so that we don't get stuck in here for too long and lose too much time, Naruto thought to himself while trying to figure out what to do. As he was at the window thinking, Salina and Claris came out of the bathrooms wrapped in towels. Naruto, it's your turn to take a bath, Salina called from the bed where she was wrapping her hair up to dry. Naruto came out of his thoughts and turned around before blushing at the sight of the girls in nothing but towels. Like what you see, Naruto? Claris asked with a smirk while Salina giggled. If I didn't like what I see, I would have to be blind and stupid. You two are beautiful and strong, Naruto said with a smirk before heading into the bathroom, leaving both girls blushing furiously at what he said. Do you think he really meant that, Claris? Salina asked after they had both calmed down their blushing from what he said. I don't know, Salina, you're the daughter of the love goddess, not me, Claris said thoughtfully. Well, I hope he did. I mean, I kind of like him and he is kind of cute, Salina said with a blush on her face. I agree. I don't think he would be that bad in the position of boyfriend, Claris said with a blush on her face as well. Selena had a shocked look on her face after what Clarice had just admitted before she smiled at the fact that Naruto had wormed his way into both their lives and earned their affections. At the same time, Clarice was also shocked at what she had admitted but quickly got over it when she realized that he had earned it with how he treated her and Selena. But then realized something. We need to talk, Selena, as it seems we both have feelings for Naruto. Clarice said, gaining Selena's attention. I agree, we should defiantly talk about this so we don't lose our friendship. Selena said before they both got dressed and sat down to talk about their feelings for Naruto. At the same time with Naruto had just got out of the shower and was getting dressed while thinking about the girls and what he had just seen and what was said. Do I like them? I mean, they're kind, funny, and sweet. They know how to fight when it's needed and are fiercely loyal and protective. They also are really beautiful in their own way, Naruto thought to himself as he finished getting dressed. As he was heading out of the bathroom, he overheard the tail end of the girls' conversation. So we both like him for many reasons, but what should we do? We both can't have him, can we? Clarice said, then asked. Who says we can't both have him? We could share him, Selena said, causing Clarice to look at her in shock and Naruto to widen his eyes in shock from behind the door. What? Clarice asked after getting past her shock. Just hear me out. We both like him and we're both good friends. We've even experimented and liked it, so we know that won't be a problem if we get with him and it gets to that point, Selena said, causing Clarice to gain a thoughtful look in Naruto's eyes to widen further in shock and get a small nosebleed from the thoughts that put into his head. Alright, if a relationship does happen, I agree that we can try sharing him, Clarice said, causing Selena to squeal out and hug her while saying thank you over and over again while Naruto gained a small smile. After a moment, Naruto straightened up and exited the bathroom, making enough noise so the girls would notice him exiting the bathroom. Hey girls, I'm done in the bathroom, Naruto said, causing the girls to look up with blushes on their faces from what they were just talking about. Okay, we should plan out what we're going to do, Clarice said after she got her blush under control. The other two nodded and they all started thinking about what they could do to find the pearl as quickly as possible. Hey Naruto, do you think you could use your power and sense where the pearl is like you did in the junkyard? Selena asked after a moment of thought, getting Naruto to widen his eyes. That's genius, Selena, but because this is inside and there isn't much of the wild here, we will have to be within a certain vicinity of the pearl for it to pick it up, Naruto said, getting nods from the girls and a blush from Selena. Then we should split up to find it with you using your power every now and again to locate the pearl, Clarice said, getting agreeing nods. Yeah, and we can use the radios to keep in contact with each other while we're looking in case we find it or your power pinpoints its location, Selena said, also getting agreeing nods. Alright then, let's head out, but keep a weapon close in case one of the Lotus Eaters try to stop us by attacking, Naruto said, and everyone got ready. Once they were ready, they headed down to the lobby and separated to different parts of the casino. With Selena was looking around at all the different people and games in the casino, trying to see if she could find anything that looked like one of the pearls. Excuse me, would you like to try one of our complimentary snacks, miss? Selena heard a voice say from behind her and turned around to see one of the casino workers holding a tray out to her. No thanks, I just had a huge meal over at the buffet, but thank you anyway, Selena said, nicely, getting a smile from the worker. Oh, that's okay dear, have a good time, the worker said before walking off. Selena sighed in relief before turning back around and going back to her search. She began looking at different prizes offered for winners of the games, trying to see if they had the pearl as a prize for the winners. There was no such luck and she continued her search around the casino. At one point in her search she felt like she was being followed, but every time she looked she could see no difference in the people around her, but she did pull her knives in her sleeves closer in case she had to pull them out quickly to defend herself. A few minutes later, Selena was finishing up that section of the casino and was about to head to a different section when something caught her and she turned towards it. In one of the booths at the bar was her mother sipping on a martini and flirting with a guy beside her. Selena gasped and began to make her way over to her. When she was halfway to her, she saw the man get up and walk away and watched her mother turn and look straight at her. She finished her walk and sat down beside her mother. "Hello, my beautiful daughter," Aphrodite said to her when Selena turned to face her. "Mom, what are you doing here?" Selena asked with a smile on her face as she hugged her mother. "I came to have some fun and warn you, my daughter," Aphrodite said with a serious look on her face. "Warn me about what, Mom?" Selena asked in confusion. "Selena, your group is in grave danger here. The Lotus Eaters have caught on to you three and are preparing something. You must hurry and find the pearl and get out." Aphrodite said gravely. Do you know what they are preparing, Mom? Selena asked worriedly. No, they are using their powers to block the gods from seeing what they're preparing, Aphrodite told her. Okay Mom, we will be careful and I'll warn the others, Selena said. There is no need, they are already being warned, my daughter, Aphrodite explained. Okay Mom, is there anything else? Selena asked her, preparing to go search for the pearl more quickly. Yes, I have a warning, my daughter. You must not rush into any relationship with Naruto. You are on the right track in your thoughts with Claris, but you must let him make the choice to have the relationship or not, Aphrodite warned her. What? Why? Selena asked her, confused. Naruto has a great destiny ahead of him, this much I know, and for it to come true Naruto must be able to make all the decisions himself, including any to do with relationships, Aphrodite explained to her. Alright Mom, I will let him decide, Selena said, kind of sad about it. I'm proud of you, my daughter, you have shown that there are worthy warriors in my line and that you can stand up for yourself, Aphrodite told her proudly. Thanks Mom, Selena said happily. No dear, you can let Naruto to show that a relationship can be between you three, but remember what I said, Aphrodite said. I will Mom, and thank you, Selena said. I must go, my daughter, and you must be quick in your search. I love you, Aphrodite told her, giving her a hug. Alright Mom, and I will be. I love you too, Selena said, returning the hug. Aphrodite pulled back with a loving smile on her face before flashing out after Selena covered her eyes. After her mom left, Selena began searching with renewed haste in a new section of the casino. She was about to circle a fountain when her senses picked up on something, and she turned around, pulling her daggers out and up in front of her just in time to block a swipe from a sword being wielded by Lotus Eater. You shall not leave here alive, daughter of the love goddess, the Lotus Eater said in a dreamlike voice. Oh, I will, and you will not stop me, Selena said while throwing one of her throwing daggers at it, causing it to jump away from her to dodge the dagger, which disappeared and reappeared in her holster for it. When it is ready, you and your friends will die, the Lotus Eater said while swinging its sword at her, which she blocked again with her daggers before pushing it away and taking her on swing and scoring a long shallow cut on its chest with her dagger in her left hand. What are you preparing anyway? Selena asked while I was checking the wound she made. I guess I could tell you since you were going to die anyway. We are summoning Lycaon and his minions to defeat you, the Lotus Eater told her, causing her eyes to widen in surprise. The Lotus Eater tried to take advantage of her surprise and struck out with his sword at her side, but she blocked the strike with her daggers again and struck in a wide arc with her dagger, slicing through the Lotus Eater's neck, killing him instantly. Immediately she reached up and touched her radio, turning it on. Guys, where are you? We need to leave quickly. The Lotus Eaters are summoning Lycaon and his minions to attack us, Selena said into the radio. I'm near the car on display in the center of the casino, Selena. I have the pearl and Claris is already on her way to me with a pack of hellhounds on her tail, she heard Naruto say through the radio. I'm on my way now, we need to get out of here quickly, Selena said back into the radio and immediately made her way to them, with Claris at the same time. Claris was at another side of the casino looking around at the things going on around her and was actually a little surprised at all the different games focused on battles and fighting. She had had no luck so far in finding the pearl, but knew that one of them would find the pearl eventually, and so kept looking. Every now and then she would look behind her for anyone that might be following her, and had her spear and shield in their shrunken form in her hands in case she had to use them. She felt like she was being watched at every moment ever since she turned down that waitress with the tray of snacks. She was walking past a booth near a war game based on ancient Greece when she was pulled into it. She immediately had her spear up and at the person's throat before she had even realized it. She heard a deep chuckle and looked up into the flaming eyes of her father and immediately lowered her spear and dropped to one knee. Hello, father, Claris said in a neutral voice. Claris, her father said, then indicated for her to rise. I am here to warn you, Claris, that the Lotus Eaters are preparing something to destroy you as they have realized your presence and what you have come for, Ares told her in a commanding tone. What do you wish me to do, father? Claris asked him while standing at attention in front of him. Find your friends and prepare yourself. Find the pearl quickly and get out of here. If you can't get out quickly, then find and bring me honors you have so far on this quest, Ares said, a hint of pride in his commanding tone. As you wish, father, Claris said while beaming in pride at his words. One more thing before I go, I find the boy Naruto worthy. Take that however you wish, Claris. I am proud of you, my daughter. Aries said quickly before flashing out, leaving behind a surprised but happy Clarice, who then blushed as she realized what he meant about Naruto being worthy. She then quickly shrunk her spear back down and began searching for the pearl again. She would locate her friends once that was found. She first checked all the stalls in this area, checking to see if they had the pearl in one of them, but didn't find it. She then went around looking more intently at the people in the area to see if one of them had it, but noticed none of them had it either. After that, she moved to a new art to search for the pearl and began checking the stalls first, just like in the last area. As she was finishing up the stalls, her senses tingled and she dropped to one knee just in time to see two hellhounds fly over her. She quickly enlarged her spear and shield before stabbing the closest of the two in the neck, killing it instantly, then turned and stabbed the second in the chest as it charged her, killing it as well. She then turned around to notice a whole pack of at least 50 closing in on her and quickly pressed the button on her radio. "Naruto, where are you? I've got a pack of at least 50 hellhounds closing in on me," Clarice said into the radio. "I'm on my way to a car on display in the center of the casino. Make your way there and we will deal with the hellhounds together, then find Selena," she heard Naruto say through the radio. "Gotcha, on my way now," Clarice said, then prepared herself to get to the car while holding off the hellhounds. She then charged off to her left in the direction of the car with the hellhounds right on her tail. As she ran, she used her spear's ability to conduct lightning to shock any of the hellhounds that came near her and even killed a few with it. As she came into sight of the car, she saw Naruto standing near the front with his bow in his hand and his other hand on the radio and guessed he was talking to Selena. She noticed him lower his hand and look in her direction and then drop to one knee and aim his bow with 4 arrows knocked with each lighting up in Greek fire before letting them go. She watched them fly past her, the closest only a foot from her face, and heard 4 large yelps and the accompanying sound of them dying. She ran on and skidded to a stop, turned around right beside Naruto as he let another 4 arrows fly, killing more hellhounds. She then prepared to fight until Selena appeared. With Naruto at the same time, once the girls had left to their places to search for the pearl, Naruto dropped to one knee and used his ability to search for the pearl but couldn't sense it in his range of the ability. But he did realize that his range covered his whole first area he was supposed to search, so he knew he had to head to his next area. As Naruto headed to the new area, he looked around at the things around him and even noticed a few things that gave away the Lotus Eater's presences. He was looking at one game that he thought was pretty cool when he was bumped into and almost fell over. He turned when he heard a groan and saw a girl a few years older than him helping a kid who had probably been the one to bump into him off the ground. "Hey, you okay kid, you bumped into me pretty hard?" Naruto said as he leant down to help. "Yeah, I'm good, thank you for helping," the boy said. "Yes, thank you, I'm Bianca D'Angelo and this is my brother Nico," the girl Bianca said. "I'm Naruto, nice to meet you," Naruto said, smiling brightly, causing the girl to blush a little. "Nice to meet you too," Bianca said after getting her blush to go away. "Yeah, do you know about myth and magic?" Nico said, then asked excitedly. "Yeah, I happen to know a little about it," Naruto said, getting a woof from Nico and a groan from Bianca. "But I have something I'm doing at the moment, so I have to go, but maybe I'll see you two again sometime," Naruto said, causing Nico to groan. "Oh okay, well guess I'll see you around, Naruto," Nico said. "Yes, see you around, Naruto," Bianca said. "Alright, see you guys later," Naruto said before walking off to the next area with a wave. Once in the next area, Naruto began to use his ability to sense the area when he was stopped by a hand on his shoulder. He turned to see his mother Hestia behind him and a brilliant smile lit up his face, earning an equally bright smile from his mother. "Mom, what are you doing here?" Naruto asked excitedly, getting a chuckle from her before her face became serious. "I have come here to warn you, Naruto, that you and your friends are in danger from the Lotus Eaters. They know you're here and they know why and are preparing something," Hestia said, getting Naruto to turn serious as well. "Do you know what they're planning, Mom?" Naruto asked. "No, none of the gods do. You need to find the pearl quickly and get out of here before you are attacked by whatever they bring here," Hestia told him. "Alright Mom, I will, and I will protect my friends," Naruto said, causing Hestia to smile warmly at him. "Also, we know how you feel about them, and besides a little grumbling from Artemis, we approve of them even if it turns into a double relationship," Hestia said, getting a blush from Naruto. "Oh really?" Naruto asked her, getting a nod in return. "Yes, even Artemis agreed, but said only you could receive that permission from her, as she knows you would never get into that kind of relationship lightly. She also told me that she had talked to her hunters about it and appeased their worries about you having that kind of relationship," Hestia told him. "Thank you, Mom, and tell both my other moms the same, okay?" Naruto said, getting a nod from her before she hugged him tightly, and he returned it just as tightly. "I love you, Naruto. I have to go now," she said. "I love you too, Mom," Naruto said brightly as he covered his eyes when she flashed out. After Hestia left, Naruto began to use his power to search for the pearl and easily located what direction it was in, but noticed that it was surrounded by many monster signatures and even more Lotus Eater signatures. "This is going to be hard. Good thing I have Mom's invisibility cap and Mother's power to cover my scent," Naruto thought as he turned his cap's invisibility function on and covered his scent with his power. Once done, he slowly moved towards the location of the pearl, noticing the different monsters appearing periodically and how the number of them increased the closer he was to the pearl. Soon enough he saw an office being guarded by a mixture of armed monsters and Lotus Eaters in the direction he sensed the pearl and stopped. He then used his power to sense if the pearl was in the office and see if he could find a different, less guarded entrance to the office. He found that the pearl was located in the office and that the only other entrance to it was through the vent shafts in the ceiling of the room. So he slowly backed away and found an entrance to the vents in the bathroom and quickly climbed inside, finding that they were just big enough for him to crawl through them. He quickly but quietly made his way through the shafts to the vent entrance in the ceiling of the office and used his power to sense if there was anybody inside the room. Once he was sure there was no one inside the room, he quietly opened the vent and made his way into the office and over to the desk where he sensed the pearl was located. He quickly searched the desk and found a hidden compartment under the desk and quietly pried it open with his boot knife before looking inside and finding a box that had the pearl inside. He took the pearl and put it in his pocket before putting the box back in the compartment and closing it. He then quietly got back in the vent and closed the entrance before making his way back to the bathroom and climbing out. Once he was sure the bathroom was empty, he turned off his cap's invisibility feature but kept his scent covered and left the bathroom. He quickly made his way to the car in the middle of the casino, figuring it would be a quick way to get out. "Naruto, where are you? I've got a pack of at least 50 hellhounds closing in on me," he heard Claris say through the radio. "I'm on my way to the car on display in the center of the casino. Make your way there and we will deal with the hellhounds together, then find Salina," Naruto answered her through the radio. "Gotcha, on the way," he heard Claris answer back. He then focused back on getting to the car so he could help Claris with the hellhounds and made it there in no time. "Guys, where are you? We need to leave quickly. The Lotus Eaters are summoning Lycaon and his minions to attack us," he heard Salina say through the radio. "I'm near the car on display in the center of the casino, Salina. I have the pearl and Claris is already on her way to me with a pack of hellhounds on her tail," Naruto told her through the radio. "I'm on my way now. We need to get out of here quickly," he heard Salina say back through the radio. He then lowered his hand and turned to see Claris running towards him with hellhounds right behind her and her using her spear to shock and sometimes kill them if they got too close to her or were about to attack her. He immediately dropped to one knee, bringing his bow up and knocked 4 arrows and coughed them in Greek fire before aiming them and firing at the 4 hellhounds closest to Claris and watched drop dead before turning into gold dust. He then knocked 4 more of the same arrows and fired them, killing 4 more of the hellhounds as Claris skidded to a stop right beside him, facing the monsters with her spear up, impaling the closest one. Naruto then quickly put away his bow and pulled out his sword before slicing 2 that jumped at him in half. "Do you have the pearl, Naruto?" Claris asked as she dodged a swipe from one of the monsters and stabbed it with her spear. "Yes, and Salina is already making her way to us," Naruto answered while slicing through a hellhound's throat and dodged a swipe from another. "Good, she can help us take these hellhounds out," Claris said before stabbing through 2 hellhounds at once and shocking another. "Yeah, but we have a problem. Salina has discovered that the Lotus Eaters are summoning Lycaon and his minions to attacks," Naruto said while dodging a swipe from 2 of the hellhounds before beheading them with his sword. "Damn, we can't take on that many monsters with just 3 of us. We need help," Claris said before stabbing through another hellhound with her spear. But she didn't see the one behind her and was about to be attacked before a throwing knife sliced across its throat, instantly killing it as Salina appeared. "What about that hunting horn your mother made you?" Salina said as she immediately appeared, throwing another dagger right between the eyes of another hellhound before spinning around and slicing the throat of one behind her. "Of course," Naruto said as he pulled it out and blew into it, sounding the hunting call which made all the hellhound freeze in their tracks. The 3 demigods watched as a portal opened up as the last note died and wolves shot out, immediately charging the hellhounds and began slaughtering them. Of course, the wolves of the hunt Selena said in realization, and the others widened their eyes. Thank you, Mom, for the help. Naruto thought as he watched the wolves kill the last hellhound before they approached him. The pack stopped a few feet before and bowed to him as a large white wolf approached him and sat in front of him. It is nice to finally meet the son of my mistress. I am Shiva, your mother's companion. The wolf said, shocking them that she could speak. Of course, it is nice to meet you as well, Shiva, and thank you and your pack for your help. Naruto said as he bowed to the wolf. Shiva, you are welcome, young one. Is there anything else we can help with? Shiva said, then asked after Naruto raised from his bow. Yes, we believe that the Lotus Eaters have or are summoning Lycaon and his minions to attack us. Would you be willing to cover us as we escape since we have no silver weapons on us at this time? Naruto explained, then asked Shiva. We would be honored to help you, young one. Are you ready to go? Shiva asked him as she rose from her sitting position and signaled 3 wolves to come forward. Yes, we are ready to go. Naruto told her with a thankful look on his face. Then climb onto the backs of these wolves and we will take you as far as we can, Shiva said. Again, thank you, Shiva. We are headed in the direction of Mount St. Helens, Naruto said as they climbed onto the backs of the wolves. Of course, anytime, young one, Shiva said, then signaled the pack to head out and they took off out of the casino and into the desert. As they were entering the desert, Naruto saw Kurama appear in his larger form running alongside Shiva and saw her nod to him. Shortly after leaving the desert, the 3 demigods fell asleep on the back of the wolves. As they slept, the wolves and Kurama continued on into the night, promising in their minds to get the young demigods as close as they could to their destination. A few hours later, the 3 teens woke up on the back of the wolves as they were just entering the southern part of the Mount Hood National Forest. They were making good time and had made it more than halfway to Mount St. Helens in less than a day. About how much farther do you think you will be able to take us, Shiva? Naruto asked his mother's wolf companion as they continued through the woods. We can take you as far as the human city of Carson. At the edge of these woods we are traveling through, then you will have to find your way the rest of the way there, the large female wolf answered as they continued to run through the woods. What should we do once we get there to get to Mount St. Helens? Claris asked Naruto and Selena. Well, our best bet would be to take a bus to get there as it is a straight shot from there. Selena answered her. That sounds like the best plan of action, Naruto said. After figuring that out, the group lapsed into silence as they continued on towards the city of Carson. After a few minutes, the group started hearing the sounds of motors and other things signaling they were getting close to the city of Carson, and the wolves started to slow down before stopping altogether in a clearing close to the edge of the woods and near the bus station that held the buses that took people cross country. We're here, young one. This is as far as we can take you. The rest of the way must be made on your own, Shiva told them as they got off the backs of the wolves they had ridden the whole way. We thank you, Shiva, and understand. Please thank my mother for her help in allowing me to summon you with the hunting horn she made me, Naruto said as he bowed to the large white wolf. You are welcome, and I will return your thanks to my mistress. Now then, we must go, the large white wolf said before howling, making a portal open that her and the rest of her pack ran off into. Alright then, next stop Mount St. Helens. We should go get tickets now for the next bus out of here, Naruto said, getting a nod from the girls. After they got the tickets to the closest city to Mount St. Helens called Cougar, they decided to play a game of hacky sack with an apple that Claris had in her bag. Naruto noticed the girls were really good, being able to bounce the apple off of many parts of their bodies. He also noticed that he was pretty good at it as well, even with it being his first time playing. Their game ended when they saw their bus pulling up. They grabbed up their bags and boarded, getting seats near the back of the bus. Once they were settled in with Kurama back in Naruto's bag, they began to play games like tic-tac-toe and I Spy to pass the time during the trip. Eventually the bus arrived at the station in Cougar and they got off, heading to a side street to have more privacy. Okay girls, I'm going to use my power to sense for any monsters in the immediate area. After that we need to find a place we can summon a rainbow to contact Chiron and give him a status report on the quest, Naruto said, getting nods from the girls. They moved to the 2 exits of the alley to keep an eye out for anyone coming towards the alley. Naruto then dropped down to one knee with his hand on the ground and opened his senses to the wilderness in the area. He noticed that he got a clearer picture of this area unlike in the other areas and marked it down to there being more nature in this area than the others. After a few minutes he stood up, satisfied that they were in no immediate danger from monsters. Alright girls, we're good. There are no monsters for a few miles of here, Naruto said. That's good, Selena said in a relieved tone. She did not want a repeat of what happened at the Grand Canyon or the junkyard, no matter how well they all had done there. Yeah, now let's find a good place to contact camp, Clara said impatiently. She wanted to get a move on. Alright, I sensed a water source a few blocks from here that is secluded, Naruto said, looking at them. Well, let's check it out. Hopefully it's in a really visited public place, Selena said. Yeah, we don't need the cops on us for being on private property, Clara said with a snort of amusement at the idea of the cops chasing them down. Naruto nodded and led them in the direction of the water source. A few minutes later they came upon a water fountain in a secluded spot in a park and checked for mortals. The coast is clear, Naruto, Clara said as Selena handed him a drachma. You contact Chiron. We will keep an eye out for any mortals or monsters, Selena said, getting a nod from Naruto as she walked to the other entrance to the area they were in. Naruto then turned back to the fountain and started looking around it. A few seconds later he found a small rainbow being formed by mist from one of the streams of water. Oh goddess, accept this offering, he said, and threw the drachma, watching it disappear in a golden shimmer. Chiron, have blood ill, please and thank you, Naruto said, and he could have sworn he saw a smiling face in the rainbow. Instantly a view of the big house came into focus, and Naruto could see Chiron on the porch with a worried frown on his face, his bow in his hands. Chiron, he called, getting the centaur's attention. Oh Naruto, I was wondering when you would contact me, Chiron said, worry still clear on his face and in his eyes. What wrong, Chiron? What has you so worried? Naruto asked, causing Chiron to sigh. We're having a few problems with the campers, Naruto. Somehow information on the Zeus, Poseidon standoff got out to them a few weeks ago. I believe the culprit may be the same one who summoned the Hellhound, but either way they now know. It had begun to look like the Trojan War again, until someone leaked out information on your quest to prove yourself to the gods. We still don't know how they found out, as only me and Mr. D at camp knew of your quest. But either way it has caused the camp to form 3 sides instead of 2. Chiron said, causing Naruto to go bug-eyed. Alright Chiron, I know I'm going to regret this, but how did the sides change when they found out the info on me? Naruto asked with a sigh. Well, Athena's cabin had originally sided with Zeus, but when the information on you got up they created their own side representing your 3 mothers and you. Naturally once that happened Apollo's cabin joined your side as they're your next closest family. With them came Ares and Aphrodite. Hephaestus's cabin has also joined your side because of the faith you put in them. Because of this, Zeus and Poseidon have been pressuring the other gods and goddesses, and their cabins have joined one of the 2 gods, basically making a 3-way Cold War at camp. The only cabin not involved at the moment is the Hermes' cabin, Chiron said, confirming Naruto's thoughts. How bad has it gotten already? Naruto asked him. I've already had to stop 2 small disputes and break up 3 fights between the cabins supporting Poseidon and Zeus. Surprisingly, the cabins on your side have stayed out of and even helped stop a few of the fights and disputes. Right now I have Ares' cabin offering to patrol camp and help maintain the peace. Surprising as well, Chiron said, causing Naruto to groan. Well, enough about this. What is happening on your end? You wouldn't have contacted me without an update, Chiron said, looking at him patiently. Naruto sighed and began to fill Chiron in on all that had happened so far on his quest, and went into detail about his meeting with the Fates and what they were doing at the moment. That's about it, Chiron. We're already at Mount Street. Helen's now looking for the 3rd pearl, Naruto said, finishing up his report on the quest so far. Well, your quest certainly has been eventful. Perseus has as well. He reported in 2 weeks ago, but I was handling something and Luke received the report and said, Chiron said, getting Naruto's attention. Have they been doing well? Naruto asked him. They have had a few rough spots here and there, but other than that, yes, Chiron said, causing Naruto to sigh in relief. That's good, Naruto said. Well, listen Chiron, I got to go. Take care of camp while I'm gone, Naruto said, smirking. I will, Naruto, Chiron said, chuckling. Take care of yourself, and tell the others the same. I will hopefully see you again when this quest is over, he added, smiling at the iris message. Naruto then passed his hand through the message, ending it, turning it back into mist. He then turned around and called the girls over. So what did Chiron say? Selena asked. Yeah, did the old horse have a cow when you mentioned the Fates? Clarice asked, snickering at her own question. Well, calm down and I will tell you, Naruto said, getting nods from them. He then explained to them the conversation he had with Chiron, going into detail about the info leak and the cabin alliances to date. The girls were wide-eyed at the state of the camp at first, but then calmed down when he said it changed when info on his quest was leaked. So we were heading for another Trojan War back at Camp Hut? Claris asked Naruto. Yeah, that's what Chiron said. Well, until my quest got involved, Naruto said. Yeah, then almost all the major gods and goddesses and their cabins moved to your side and left Zeus and Poseidon with no support, Selena said, smirking as an image of what their faces must have looked like when it happened. Yeah, that is until they started pressuring the others onto their side. The only god in cabin that isn't involved is Hermes. Naruto said. I can only imagine why. Claris said, smirking, causing the others to smirk as well. Well, we need to get back to the quest and get the pearl, Naruto said. Right, Selena, you lead the way since it seems like you know the most about this pearl's possible location, Claris said. Right, come on, there is a hidden temple to Hephaestus at the base of the mountain. That is the most likely location of the pearl, Selena said as she led the way. At about 2 miles from the mountain, Naruto stopped the girls so he could use his powers to check the location again. He found there were no monsters in the area and so gave the girls the go-ahead to continue. Once they were at the base of the mountain, Selena began to lead them down a narrow path through the trees that would have went unnoticed by them without her. After walking what felt like a few more miles, they finally came to a clearing that had a building in its center that was bronze in color. It was decorated in designs and images of scenes depicting Hephaestus in his workshop, and his many symbols of power. Good job, Selena, this might just be where it is, Naruto said, smiling at her, causing her to blush as he walked away towards the building. Wow, Selena, I've never seen you blush that hard because of a boy, Claris said, smirking at her. Oh, hush you, like you haven't been trying to not blush every time he talks to you since we had our talk. Selena huffed out as she stomped away, causing Claris to laugh while sputtering out denials as she followed her. They entered the temple together and began to look around to see if they could find the pearl anywhere. Hey war girl, Rogue, get over here, I think I found it, Naruto said, causing them to look at him in shock before walking over to him and grabbing his arms. First, you're going to explain the names you just called us, Claris said in an innocent tone that made Naruto gulp for a moment. Well, they're my nicknames for you. I've been trying to come up with ones for you two for a few days now and just decided on them, Naruto said, getting curious looks from them. Well then, why those two names as our nicknames? Selena asked as they loosened their grips, making Naruto sigh in relief. Well, I chose War Girl for Claris because of many factors. She has honor in battle. She loves to fight. She can handle any weapon she touches. She's passionate about many things that deal with battle and many that don't, and she's the daughter of the war god, Naruto explained, making Claris blush a little. And I chose Rogue for Selena because she's different from all the other daughters of Aphrodite in the fact that she actually likes to take part in battle, and when it comes to boys and love she isn't as quick to fall in love and actually picks people based on more than just their looks, Naruto continued to explain, causing Selena to blush this time. That's why I chose those nicknames for you too, Naruto finished. The girls were at a loss for words and so just nodded and let him go. After a few moments they collected themselves and looked towards Naruto. Alright Naruto, we accept the nicknames, but be ready, we will be coming up with one for you now, Claris said, with Selena nodding her head in agreement. Alright, fair enough, I can't wait to hear what you come up with, Naruto said, and the girls blushed before each kissing him on his cheeks, causing him to blush as well. Now that that's out of the way, where is this spot you think the pearl is? Selena said, looking around. Up there, Naruto said, pointing to a necklace dangling from a statue of Hephaestus's hand. The girls looked and noticed that it was the pearl, but that the hand it was in was held up almost touching the ceiling. Naruto, how are we supposed to get up there to get it? Selena asked again while turning to him. Yeah, I don't see anything that could help us get it down, Claris said, looking around. That's where I need your help. I have a plan to get it down, Naruto said, getting a nod from the girls as they turned to him. Naruto turned for a moment to get the things needed for the plan before explaining. Alright girls, I'm going to fire one of my arrows at the string holding the pearl to the necklace. When I do, I need you, Rogue, to catch it. During that, you, War Girl, will be keeping an eye out for any traps or monsters that might be triggered or released by the pearl being removed. Okay, Naruto said, getting a nod from the girls. Alright, I will go get into position near the entrance so I have a better view of the room, Claris said as she walked away. I'm going to go get into position under the pearl so I can catch it, Selena said as she moved into position. Naruto waited for the girls to give him a nod when they were in position. He then took aim with his bow, and fired at the pearl. As soon as the arrow hit the string, Clarice jumped forward shouting, "Selena, move, the spear from the statue is dropping." Selena looked behind her to see the spear dropping and rolled to the side just in time to avoid the spear that hit the spot she was just in. She then held out her hand and caught the pearl. She was about to cheer at getting the pearl, but saw her friends' wide eyes looking behind her. Before she could turn to see what they were looking at, she was grabbed from behind and turned to face whatever it was. She screamed in terror when she saw she was being held by a Dragonian giant. Naruto and Clarice jumped into action at her scream. Clarice charged forward with her spear raised, stabbing the giant in the wrist, causing it to drop Selena and bellow in pain. Naruto then jumped forward, catching Selena in his arms and running behind Clarice with her. Clarice held the giant back as Naruto checked Selena for any wounds. "You alright, Rogue?" "I don't see any wounds," Naruto asked as he set her down and looked her over. "Yeah, I'm alright, Naruto, I was just scared for a moment." "We should help Clarice," Selena said, standing up and grabbing her daggers. Naruto nodded and returned his bow to his necklace and grabbed his Zippo, turning it into his katana. They then charged the giant with Selena getting in close and cutting its ankle tendons with her daggers, and Naruto cutting its other wrist with his sword covered in flames, almost severing its hand off. As it bellowed in pain and rage, they backed up with Clarice to get some distance from the monster. "I think I can finish it off if I can get a clear shot at its neck with my spear," Clarice said as she caught her breath from holding off the giant. "Okay, I think I can cause enough of a distraction for you to get in close to him," Naruto said, getting a nod from Clarice. "I'll help Clarice finish it off with a few slices to its main arteries with my daggers," Selena said, getting a nod from both of them. Naruto then moved towards the giant and got into a stance for one of his new techniques and waited for the giant to notice him. While he was doing that, the girls moved to the side of the room and snuck their way to behind the giant. Once Naruto saw that the giant had noticed him, he charged forward and began slicing the giant from many different directions across its stomach. While he was doing that, the girls moved forward to attack the giant from behind. Clarice charged forward and stabbed her spear into the back of the giant's neck and into the top of its spinal cord. Selena then charged forward and launched herself off Clarice's shoulders, landing on the giant's shoulders. She then slashed the giant across its neck with both her daggers, causing 2 long gashes to appear, tearing its throat apart. The giant let out one last bellow at these attacks before disintegrating into gold dust, leaving behind its club. After they caught their breath and discussed it out, they gave the club to Selena as her spoils of war, as she had been the one in the most danger throughout the fight. Selena then prayed over it and it disappeared in a bright flash. "Alright, that's 3 pearls down and 1 more to go," Naruto said, high-fiving with the girls. "Yeah, next stop LA," Clarice said. "I hope we find out where exactly when we get there," Selena said worriedly. "Don't worry, Rogue, we'll find the last one," Naruto said, causing her to smile. "Yeah, but first we will have to get to LA and find out where exactly the entrance to the underworld is," Clarice said, getting a nod from Selena, agreeing with each other. "Don't worry, War Girl, I have a feeling we're going to run into some help when we get there," Naruto said with a smirk on his face. "You're talking about Percy and the others, aren't you, Naruto?" Selena asked, causing Naruto's smirk to deepen. "Of course, or there's no way we wouldn't run into them there," Clarice said with a groan. "Oh, don't worry about it, Clarice, I know you don't like them that much, but they're a good group of people and will help us even if they didn't want to," Naruto said while laying his hand on her shoulder comfortingly, causing her to blush. "Alright, Naruto, if we run into them I guess I can deal with it," Clarice said, getting a beaming smile out of Naruto and a teasing smirk from Selena. "Alright then, let's get back to the bus station and find out when the next bus to LA leaves out," Naruto said as he began walking back down the trail Selena led them to hear on. "So Clarice, it seems you do know how to blush when it comes to Naruto," Selena said teasingly. "Oh, shut up, you just want to get me make for laughing at you earlier," Clarice said, causing Selena to laugh as she took off after Naruto, causing Clarice to give chase after her. Once they were back in the middle of town and close to the bus station, they noticed an old man near a barrel fire signaling them to come over. They looked at each other for a moment, deciding if this should, before Naruto gave a barely noticeable nod and they made their way over. "Good afternoon, young ones, I hope you're enjoying your day," the old man said once they were standing around the fire themselves. "It could be worse," Clarice answered for them, getting a nod from the old man. "That it could miss that it could," he said back. Wait, did you signal for us to come over here to you?" Selena asked, getting a nod from the old man. I have a small quest for you before you continue your main quest. The old man answered, getting surprised looks from Selena and Clarice, but a look of understanding and acknowledgement crossed Naruto's face. You're a god, and if I'm reading the signs right, you're Uncle Apollo, Naruto said, getting shocked looks from the girls and a broad gleaming smile from the old man. That's right, nephew, it is me, Apollo. I'm surprised but proud you figured it out, Apollo said, getting a grin from Naruto. How did you know, Naruto? Selena asked him, getting a agreeing nod from Clarice. Well, it became obvious once he mentioned he had a request for us, but I figured it was either one of the gods or their messengers when he motioned us to come over to him. Not many other people would do that with us since we're demigods, Naruto said, getting a proud grin from Apollo and looks of understanding from the girls. But how did you know it was Apollo and not one of the other gods? Clarice asked, getting a agreeing nod from Selena and an interested look from Apollo. Well, it is the middle of summer and he is standing around a barrel fire, and only 2 of the male gods are involved with anything to do with fire, and he doesn't have injured legs, so Naruto said, then trailed off as the girls nodded in understanding and Apollo smiled in pride at him. That was really good deduction skills, nephew. Your mothers would be proud of you, Apollo said, causing Naruto to blush at the praise and grin at what he said. Thank you, uncle. Now what is the quest you have for us? Naruto asked, causing the girls to turn to Apollo and for him to straighten up. Alright, well, I was on an errand for Zeus nearby here before I was ambushed by the Learning Hydra and dropped my lyre, which it snatched before taking off back to its lair it has made near here. I would get it myself, but because your quest brought you here I can no longer interfere in this area if I would be in trouble with the laws, Apollo said, getting widened eyes from all 3 demigods. The original Hydra? Really, Uncle Apollo? You just had to get attacked by one of the trickiest monsters to kill, Naruto said sarcastically, causing Apollo to laugh. That's the spirit, nephew. So will you guys do it? Apollo said, then asked them. Naruto looked to the girls and received nods from them after a moment of thought. Yes, we will do it, Uncle Apollo. Do you know where its lair is at? Naruto said, then asked. It is in the Cougar Park area close to the river, Apollo told them. Alright, Uncle Apollo, we will be back with your lyre as quickly as we can, Naruto told him, receiving a nod from Apollo. I will be here when you get back. They then headed off to Cougar Park to find the Hydra. Alright, Naruto, about how far do you think you can sense with your power out here in the park? Selena asked him. I can most likely pick up the whole park and locate the Hydra, Naruto said. Well, once you do that, then we can come up with a plan to fight the Hydra and get Lord Apollo's heart back, Clarice said, getting a nod from Naruto. Naruto then walked a few feet further into the woods of the park and dropped to his knees and used his power to sense the area around him, and was overwhelmed at just how far he could sense and at how much life was actually in the area. After a few moments he got his senses back and began searching for the Hydra and quickly found him in a cave next to the river that ran along the edge of the park. I found him. He is in a cave next to the river that runs along the edge of the camp. I also could tell that at the moment he only has 4 heads, as he hasn't had any of his heads cut off, Naruto said, getting nods from the girls. Well, that will make planning to kill it easier, Selena said, getting nods from the other 2. Yeah, it will. Now then, Hawkeye, I think it would be best for you to use your katana in this fight and have it wreathed in some kind of flames. I would suggest Greek fire. Now while you will be severing and cauterizing the heads with your sword, Rogue, and I will be distracting the other heads by attacking them in the eyes, Clarice said. That sounds like a good battle strategy, war girl, and Hawkeye sounds like a good nickname for me, Naruto said, causing Clarice to blush at the praise. I thought you might like it, but let's deal with the Hydra for now, Clarice said. Yeah, now we just need to get there and see how best to initiate the fight, Selena said, getting nods from the others before Naruto indicated that they needed to get a move on. After about an hour they arrived near the cave and Naruto indicated that they needed to pull out their weapons before he pulled out his sword. Clarice pulled out her spear and shield, while Selena pulled out one of her fighting daggers while hovering her other hand over her throwing knives, prepared to throw one in the blink of an eye. As they got closer they noticed the sounded of light breathing coming from the cave and realized that the Hydra could potentially be sleeping, making the fight even easier for them. The Hydra sounds like it is asleep. Let's see if we can't finish it off without waking it up, Naruto whispered to them, getting nods from the girls. They then crept their way into the cave and found that the cave went a lot deeper than they thought. Even Naruto was surprised at how deep the cave was. The further in they got, the louder the light breathing got. After another few minutes they came into a large cavern and saw the Hydra laying at the back of the cavern fast asleep. They also noticed that the Hydra's necks all crossed over one another near their base. Hawkeye, should we follow you closer to the Hydra or stay here? Claris asked Naruto through hand signs. You two stay here but be prepared to cover me if it wakes up. Naruto answered back through hand signs. Both girls signaled okay and Selena drew two of her throwing knives in case she needed them. Once he had his sword ready with Greek fire flowing along its edge, Naruto snuck across the cavern towards the Hydra. As soon as he reached where the necks crossed, Naruto stood up and raised his sword above his head before slicing it down, severing all the heads and cauterizing the stumps. The body began to thrash around as soon as they were severed, then suddenly stopped and started to disintegrate into golden dust along with three of the other heads and the fourth head's neck, leaving behind one head of the Hydra. The girls then came up to Naruto's side and put their hands on his shoulders. You should collect the spoil of war, Hawkeye, Claris said, getting a nod from Naruto, who walked over to the head before praying over it, making it disappear. Now let's find Lord Apollo's lyre, Selena said, getting nods from Naruto and Claris. They all began to head to the cave entrance that appeared in the cavern behind where the Hydra had been sleeping. When they stepped inside, they were amazed at the hoard of golden drachma and other golden objects they saw inside. Well, I guess the Hydra was more dragon than we thought, huh? Naruto said. Yeah, hey look, there's Apollo's lyre, Selena said as she ran over and picked up the lyre. So what do we do with the rest of this stuff? Claris asked, causing Naruto to get a thoughtful look. I think I have a good idea, let's get back to Uncle Apollo, Naruto said, getting nods from the girls. As they were heading back to the cavern where they killed the Hydra, they heard and felt footsteps approaching and all drew their weapons, with Naruto drawing his sword with Greek fire on it and Claris drawing her spear and shield and Selena drawing two of her throwing knives. Naruto crept to the entrance to the larger cavern and saw another Hydra with 8 heads entering the cavern. There is a larger Hydra with 8 heads entering the cavern right now. I think the Hydra we killed was mated to this one, Naruto said through hand signs, getting shocked and slightly frightened looks from the girls. Let's go with the same strategy from before, except I'm going to wreath Greek fire around your weapons as well as mine so you two can help me cut off the heads and cauterize them as well, Naruto told them through hand signs, receiving nods in return. Naruto then wreathed their weapons in Greek fire before they all ran out of the cavern, catching the Hydra by surprise and cutting off 3 of its heads before it even fully knew they were there and attacking it. After their initial surprise attack, the Hydra regained its senses and began to attack back by spitting acid from 3 of its heads and fire from 2 of its heads. As the girls were distracting the heads spitting acid, Naruto took on the heads that were spitting flames as he couldn't be hurt by fire. He moved in quickly and cut off both heads rather quickly, leaving the Hydra only with the 3 heads that spit acid. The girls were actually doing well against the 3 heads, using each other as jumps and other things to hide their movements and avoid the acid, while also attacking the heads with shallow cuts and even deep ones as one of the heads was already close to being cut off. Naruto moved in to help the girls and decapitated the head on the left as the girls finished decapitating the head on the right, leaving one head left for them to deal with. Naruto and the girls moved in as one, moving in and out of each other's paths in a zigzagging path, confusing the Hydra's last head right before they all struck at the same time, cutting its neck in 3 different places. As the last head dropped to the ground, the Hydra's body turned to dust, with 2 heads being left from this Hydra. Well, that's new, I've never heard of the Hydra leaving 2 heads as spoils of war before, Selena said. Yeah, I haven't either, Claris agreed. Well, it doesn't matter either way, they're your spoils of war, so you girls go pray over them, Naruto said, getting nods from them as they went and prayed over them, causing them to disappear. Okay, let's go back to Lord Apollo now, Selena said, getting nods from the others, who followed her out of the cave and back through the park. A few hours later they were back around the barrel fire with Apollo. Here is your lyre, Lord Apollo, Selena said as she handed him his lyre. Thank you, you 3 did a good job. I would like to do something for each of you, Apollo said before he placed his hands on Selena and Claris's heads, and they were enveloped in a golden light. I have just given you both my blessing of the bow. You will now both be as good at archery as one of my children, Apollo said, getting shocked looks from the girls. Thank you, Lord Apollo. Both girls said at the same time. You are both welcome. Now my nephew, I doubt my blessing would improve you skills with a bow any better than they already are, so is there anything I can do for you? Apollo said to the girls, then asked Naruto. Yes, uncle, we found a hoard the 2 Hydra were collecting. I was wondering if you could take the hoard to camp for us and give half of it to the camp and split the other half 3 ways between us 3 and place our thirds in Chiron's care for us to collect when we return to camp after this quest? Naruto asked him. It will be done, nephew. Now I have to go, but I hope to hear of great things from you 3 in the future. Apollo said before flashing out after giving Naruto a hug and making sure they had their eyes closed. Now we need to go see when the next bus to LA is, Naruto said to the girls, getting nods from them. They then went to the bus station and got tickets for the next bus to LA, which the ticket person said would leave in an hour and would stop in Santa Monica at the station near the Santa Monica Pier. Once the bus arrived, they got on and got seats near the back in the long bed-like seats and placed Naruto's bag that had Kurama in it in the seat beside the window, and Naruto partially curled around it, leaving Kurama enough room to stretch out near Naruto's stomach. They all fell asleep as the bus left the station, but Naruto ordered Kurama to keep his senses open and to warn them if he noticed anything strange happening. And I hope you all liked the video. And if you all want the next part of this video, please like the video and comment 3 hearts. Please subscribe to my channel so whenever I upload a video you will notify.